Predictions? Last week predicted that the Cowboys would beat the Cardinals, so what do I know? But at least you're not the Broncos. Hello, Steelers Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, a podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan. But it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. It's Zach! Chaos Attack. And today, we're going to be going over the Week 4 predictions of the 2023 NFL season. Now, before we begin, I would like to come out and say that I was considering doing a power ranking for this week. I wanted to wait until playoff time so we can do like a playoff power ranking kind of thing. And also, I've been mass producing videos at this rate, so I kind of didn't want to do too many. But yeah, if I did do a power ranking, number one this week would definitely have been the Miami Dolphins. Just going to throw out that out there. Anyways, starting with the Thursday night game, you have the Detroit Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers. And this is a bit of an intriguing game. The Lions coming off a big win against the Atlanta Falcons, where they put up 6 sacks against Desmond Ridder. And they only had 1 sack in the first 2 weeks. So coming out and get 6 means the Dolphins finally... I don't want to... What's what I'm looking for? I don't want to jinx it, but they do have that pass rush, it seems, that they've finally been waiting for the past few years. And really, I'm happy for them. Because that secondary is kind of underrated. So when you have a pass rush and a run defense, something that we don't have, things start looking up. And the Packers do not have a run defense. So just hand it off to Gibbs or Montgomery and let them run it down their throats. Meanwhile, you have the Packers who came across who got a win last week because Derek Carr got hurt. They missed a field goal, and the offense decided to go to sleep. And the defense stepped it up. So Packers, I don't think, should have won that game, but they did, and that's all that matters. Personally, I do have the Detroit Lions winning this game. Sure, Packs were in the favor of the Green Bay Packers last week, especially in that second half. But personally, I do think the Lions are the better team. Just don't tell Tom Grassi I said that. But I did the Lions winning this game. They did sweep Packers last year, and who knows? It might happen again. Next up, you have the first London game on Sunday. You have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are basically at home when they go to London, so whether you have them listed as home or away, it's a home game for them. So who really cares? The Falcons, as I just mentioned, coming off a loss to the Lions, where the O-line looked hot garbage. And then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who came off a game where they just themselves looked like hot garbage. They lost to the Texans like 34-17. The Texans. Who loses to the Texans? Oh, no. Anyways, I do still think the Jaguars are going to win this game. It is a battle between Bird and the Spotted Kitties. I don't know if it'll how good that game is gonna be, but I still don't want to assume on Trevor Lawrence just yet. So I do the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game. I'm not too entirely confident in it, but I want the Spotted Kitty to go meow. So yeah, why not? And then you have the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. This right here is 100%. I don't care what you say. This right here is the game of the week. The Dolphins nearly setting a record in terms of points scored, scoring 70 points against that Broncos defense, which is pretty good on paper. But no Jalen Waddle, no freaking fracking problem. Hill, Kane, Mostert, blowing through that Broncos defense. And even Mike White, the legend, got in on a little bit of the fun too. Throwing to Robbie Anderson, who changed his last name to Chosen, so now it's Robbie Chosen. Not sure why he did that, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyways, the Buffalo Bills putting a beating on the Washington Commanders, almost shutting them out. But they didn't score no 70 points. I, shockingly enough, kind of, have the Dolphins winning this game, mainly because I feel like they are the better team, just a bit more balanced. Bills lost a lot this past offseason. Didn't really do much to replace it. But they still are playing like the Bills of old. So I'm still going to pick the Dolphins to win this. And this is probably going to be one of the greatest games probably this season. Hopefully I'm not jinxing that. Next up, you have probably the worst game this week. The Denver Broncos taking on the Chicago Bears. Both teams 0-3. They won't be 0-3 for much longer. One of these teams has got to get a win. The Broncos, as I said, coming off probably the biggest blowout of their in franchise history, getting 70 points scored on them. It could have been 73, but the Dolphins showed mercy. And the Chicago Bears, they just suck. They just suck. I'm not even sure any Chicago Bears fans want to watch this game, let alone Broncos fans. Looking at you, Brendan Perna. But yeah, no, I am gonna pick the Broncos to win just because it's Russell Wilson, but yeah, that game's gonna be ugly. Next up, you have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, coming off a win and blowing out the Texans to where the Titans, where they could do literally nothing to the Cleveland defense. The defense putting a stamp down. Then the Ravens lost the Colts and Gardner Minshew. Why, I'm not sure. But then again, they are riddled with injuries again. Their only running back now is Melvin Gordon, who will probably get hurt later this season. And then you only have and then OBJ's hurt, I think. Tyus Bowser's hurt. Some of their secondary pieces are hurt. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad for Baltimore right now. I am going to pick the Browns to win. I don't really have a whole lot of faith in that because you can't really sleep on the Ravens right now still. But if we win our game and the Browns win theirs, that puts everyone at 2-2. Well, these two. I don't know about the Bengals, but they'll put that at 2-2. And then put us at 3-1. And then we can hold on to the division lead for a little bit longer. Doesn't that sound like fun? Does to me. So I'm going to pick the Browns to win this game. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Next up, you have the Kitty Goes Meow Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals getting a win last night against the LA Rams. And the LA Rams looked exactly like we suspected them. Not very good. Puka looked good, but other than that, that was about it. The Bengals struggled in the first half, being tied at 6 come halftime, and then the Bengals of old showed up in the second half. So don't hit the panic button just yet. Tennessee Titans get the booties handed to them by the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. Only getting 3 points. I. It's tough. It's really, really tough. But I am gonna pick the Bengals here to win. Only because Tennessee has not been playing well lately, and the Bengals looked pretty good in that second half. So we'll see. Hopefully they can run on that momentum, and Kitty goes meow. Then you have the LA Rams taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Rams. Not looking so hot that game against the Bengals. Puka having himself a day, though. Aaron Donald having a sack. A sack. Apparently the Bengals O-line decided to show up for once. Then you have the Indianapolis Colts who, well, won, thankfully, against the Ravens. And Gardner Minshew looking all right. It is a bit tough to judge this week, but I am going to pick the Colts to win. I don't really have a whole lot of faith in that, especially with some of the injuries and just people not wanting to play. Looking at you, Jonathan Taylor. But they did just beat the Ravens. Hopefully it wasn't a fluke. And then after that, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Wolf, the Buccaneers losing last night to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles defense making their statement. And then there's the New Orleans Saints, who without Derek Carr are complete dog water, apparently. I think it said they were going to be without Derek Carr for a while. If Derek Carr does show up, the Saints will win this game. But if not, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win this game. And from my understanding, I don't think Derek Carr is going to be showing up for this game. So I'm going to pick the Buccaneers to win. And hopefully I am correct. And after that, you have the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles are going to win this game. Nothing more, nothing less. And then you have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Carolina Panthers. Both of these teams are dog water, but one of them has to get a win, right? I'm going to pick Minnesota to be that team to get that win. And maybe their fan base won't be so... Maybe you'll hear a few skull chants. Who knows? After that, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Houston Texans. As I said earlier, the Texans putting up a fight against the Jaguars, and Pittsburgh squeaking away a win Sunday night against the Raiders. The offense actually, the Steelers actually showed up. Note to self, demote Matt Canada from OC to quarterback coach. And then just find an OC later. Who knows? I do see who's winning this game, though, mainly because of bias. But I do think the Steelers are going to win this game. Stroud, rookie QB, probably make a few rookie mistakes. Looking forward to it. Sorry. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the LA Chargers. Raiders lost to the Steelers, but Devontae Adams looked good. And then the Chargers won the game, but it was ugly. It was a home game for the Chargers. Maybe they got something cooked up that I don't know about. And I'm predicting them to win. Do I have any faith in that? Absolutely not. Will the Raiders probably win? Probably. Am I still going to pick the Chargers? Yes. And then the New England Patriots taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Patriots winning against the Jets, but barely. The Cowboys losing against the Cardinals, not sure how. But I do get the Cowboys winning this game. You could call it Zeke Elliott's revenge game, but yeah, I do get the Cowboys winning this game. I don't think the Cowboys are a bad team. I just think that game on Sunday was a fluke. And then You have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers should win this game hands down 100%. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New York Jets in what was supposed to be the State Farm Bowl, but Aaron Rodgers is hurt for the entire season. So, Kansas City is going to win this game. This Sunday night game. Yep. And then you have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New York Jets. Jets taking it. The Giants. Yeah, that's how bad you guys are. I completely forgot about y'all. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, though, the Seahawks coming away with a win against the Carolina Panthers. No Tariq Woolen, but no problem. And then after that, the Giants. They got beat Thursday night against the 49ers. It's a little bit of a longer week for the Giants. They had time to rest up. You got time to prepare. But you know what? The Seahawks are probably going to win this game regardless of the fact. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I went 11-5 last week, putting my record at 33-15. And let me know where y'all are in your pick'em leagues. And at the end of the season, we'll see who has the better record. I am Zach Attack, and as always, you're in Steelers country.